Hello guys, welcome to Audiobook Gifter and be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel Chapter 2 Hunter License. As soon as I was back in my apartment, I took deep breaths and analyzed everything that had happened so far. No numbers were showing for my focus, something I have never heard about before. Yet, I could still cast skills that require focus. I did not feel any exhaustion while casting F-rank skill over 500 times. My goodness, taking another deep breath, I continued thinking. The most important question now is, do I just have an abnormal amount of focus that surpasses most people, or something else? This was the biggest thing on my mind, as even the strongest B-ranked awakened individuals cannot cast skills that many times without exhausting themselves. Alright, with that in mind, I need to test just how many times I can continue to cast skills before I can't anymore. Which also means I need to get my hands on higher ranked skills that consume more energy. With that in mind, a smile bloomed on my face. Just the fact that I could cast an F-ranked skill more than 500 times meant amazing things. As long as I am not brain dead, I can easily clear an F and E ranked dungeons, even if I'm alone. D ranked dungeons might be a stretch, as the strength of monsters increase and I would need higher ranked skills besides Fireball to take them down. But there's no problem taking things slow. I pull out my phone and look at the remaining balance in my bank account. Enough money for rent and food for a few months, and the remainder of my savings. I convinced myself to buy the F-ranked skill book, Fireball, for $20,000. After this, most of my inheritance money was now gone. A year ago, when the apocalypse began, my parents were not so lucky to survive. I was stuck in the B.E.M.E.N.T. of my old house asleep and escaped the onslaught of monsters that were taken care of by the government and newly awakened people after a few days. As time passed, more information was released to the public. Monsters had appeared, most of them congregated in dungeons. If they were left alone, they would increase and something called dungeon break would occur. This caused monsters to leave the dungeon and indiscriminately attack everything on sight. But never fear, awakened people are here, able to use powerful skills and great strength to protect everyone else. And now, I was among those people too. The first order of business. Obtain an awakened license that will allow me to enter dungeons. Without a license, you cannot bypass the security that allows the awakened to clear dungeons. You can get a license fairly easily, as you just have to be examined and exhibit skills. I was itching to get started as soon as possible, so I grabbed my backpack and rushed downtown. With the advent of monsters and heroes, many of the populations were condensed onto a few protected cities. Almost everything was close to each other, so the Awakened Center was not too far away. A few minutes and I was already there. On the way, I saw the usual people with sullen faces and occasional awakened individuals rushing about. The Awakened Center was vibrating with life, as long lines of people visiting shops could be seen, with even more carefully selling monster cores to the authorities. Many people chose to first consume the cores and get stronger themselves, but many more also sold them to the government and other markets as they went for high prices. Vitality Core S and Strength Core S went for around $1,000, while Focus Cores were almost double that price because of their demand. I moved my eyes to another section of the center, which was dealing in the selling of skill books ranging from F to C. Obtaining a C-ranked skill book was a dream for many people, as they were extremely rare and went for more than $500,000. Looking at the skill books that I greatly desired, I shook my head and moved towards the registration hall. The receptionist was very welcoming, asking for my name, date of birth, address, and bank account information. As soon as she had everything down, I was told to head toward a certain door where my ability would be observed. There were 3 people standing behind thick glass in an open area with testing dummies. After hearing the directions, I stood a few meters from the dummies and cast Fireball consecutively 8 times, making sure to look like I was struggling to get the last few out. Wow, Judge 1, a peak F rank huh? Judge 2. Drawing a few surprises from the observers behind the thick glass, everything was completed successfully and I received my license. It was a golden card similar to a credit card with my name, age, and rank. The surprise from the observers was most likely due to the fact that high-ranked awakened are extremely rare, with there being only one B-ranked awakened in this city that is known publicly. There are a few tens of C-ranked awakened, a few hundred D ranks, and thousands of E and F ranks. Most of the hunters were F-ranked, so being at the peak of this rank at the starting point was a good thing by itself. One can slowly raise their rank by absorbing Core S, but unless you were in the army where they were provided for you by the government or in a rich household that could buy them en masse, you would rise very slowly. J latest novel chapters on November ELBJNC Ohm. There were some slight changes to the panel on the corner of my eyes as I walked out of the Awakened Center and received my license. Noah Occupation, Hunter. Vitality, 10, Focus. Strength, 10, Skills, Fireball -8. A new occupation had appeared, marking me as an official Awakened Hunter, and... oh. I was surprised because I didn't see it before, but the proficiency of the Fireball skill had quickly risen to 8. Though it was an extremely fast process when it took people weeks to raise their proficiency with their skill. I guess it is understandable as I was able to cast the skill more than 500 times, and most people have to use their skills over a period of weeks to reach that number. My next course of action after getting my license was the nearest beginner dungeon in this city, Ape's Paradise. boasting 10 floors. Each floor held 10 to 20 monsters, with the last floor housing a huge black ape 3 meters in size. This dungeon was regularly cleared by parties of F and E ranked hunters, who could take on the monsters and the boss without fear of casualties if everyone was doing their jobs. Parties consisting of 2 knights who put their focus on their vitality, 2 berserkers with their focus on strength, and 2 mages with their focus on focus were the most common for this dungeon. The knights act as tanks to ward off coming monsters, berserkers use their high strength to strike down and protect the mages that are the brunt of the firepower to kill everything on sight. Equipment from dungeons was extremely rare, so most people had to make do with newly designed machetes or metal pipes and iron shields as their first equipment. Only the boss of the dungeon had a chance to drop skill book S and items. Any item dropped from a dungeon was highly sought after, with their prices not being too different from that skill book S. My goal today was to enter Ape's Paradise, and alone at that. My heart was pounding at this crazy idea. When the thought was forming in my head, I had to ask myself multiple times if I had gone insane. But it will not be that dangerous. Seeing how I can cast my skills so many times without feeling any fatigue, the rank of my focus even though I can't F, U, C, K, I, N, G C it for some reason, should be nearing B if not A. And any rank B hunter can easily clear rank F and E dungeons, though they don't care to, and put their focus on higher ranked dungeons. Now, with me being the only F ranked hunter entering and clearing this dungeon, my heart was pounding from the possible rewards. Usually, rewards are split between the many members of the party, but I would keep all the core S and possible skill book S and item S that drop. Just the thought of it made my heart excited. I steeled my resolve and heading towards Ape's Paradise.